Hello, Kezia. Nice to see you. Thank you for your message. Hello, Jasmine. How's everyone today? Who have we got here? More. I'm about to say morning. Hello, Trish. Hello, Candles, Wax Melts, and so you have a question, okay? Ask away. I'll see what I can do for you. Hello, Trish. Hello, Lloyd. Nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. I'm really well, thank you, Kezia. How are you all doing? How's Monday gone for everyone today? Hope you're all right. Hello, Louise. Emma and Eileen. Julie from California. Eileen, you're... Tennessee. That's where you are. Nice to see you. Hello, Vicky. Vicky Hudson. So nice to see you. Hello, Amy. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my purple. This is my cozy... I've been in a vest all day. And this is my cozy shirt. I think it makes me look a bit bulky, but I don't care. It's really nice and comfortable. I was a bit chilly, so. Oh, sorry you're feeling a bit meh, Amy. Hello, Elle. Nice to see you. Hello, Carrie. Elle from England. Good to have you here. Oh, so candle wax. Hubby left 9 weeks ago through depression. Says he wants to come home eventually and loves. Oh, sorry, I can't see the rest of your comment. That's hard though. I feel for you. So I can't see the rest of it. I'll keep looking. I'll scroll through candle wax melts. Hello, Nat. Hello, Carrie from Ireland. Eileen. I do have a good memory. I mean, I try anyway. I just remember having a conversation with you and you were saying that you were from Ireland originally and you're in Tennessee now and you're thinking of going back to Ireland. So it's nice. So Candle Wax Melts. He rings every day, sees me a lot. Should I trust him? Okay. So I will... Oh, thank you, Vicky. Vicky pinned your post so I could see it. My Priv, look at all those lovely hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Munda. I'm glad you like the purple. And so, oh gosh, so candle wax melts. Let me make a note of this. I've got this new thing of writing everything down. So if I write them down, then I can do more. So let me write your question down. Okay. So, sorry, I'm really tired today, so please forgive me if I'm a bit doolally. Let me introduce myself to you. If you're new here, if you don't know who I am, you're thinking, who is this woman in purple waffling away? So I'm Sarah, Sarah Ayres, and I'm a therapist. I work in Hertfordshire in the UK. I work one-to-one with clients most of the time. I specialise working with people who are suffering from anxiety, from fears, from all sorts of limiting beliefs, difficult times in their lives. And over time, I'm trying to, and I think, we together have created this community of people on TikTok. And we want this to be a safe community, a place where people can come and it's quite a positive place, a place where there's hope, I hope. And I do lives generally every Monday and Friday, talking about anxiety, talking about well-being, answering as many questions as I possibly can. I only have a certain level of training. I'm a Quest cognitive hypnotherapist. So there are certain areas that I don't work in, either because of that requires more training, or because it's an area that I choose not to work in. So I bear that in mind with questions that might be asked. To keep this a safe place, I have a fantastic team of moderators who are all volunteers. So I have Jasmine, I have Vicky Hodson, I have Lynn250, I also have Zan Shin and Vicky Handlebars. So they're here to keep everything as kind and lovely as possible. Anyone who's not kind, anyone who's trying to be funny, not being empathetic, there's no tolerance. They're just gone. So thank you to my moderators for that. And as I say, I'll answer as many questions as I possibly can. I tried on Friday to sort of write three down at a time, work my way through them, do 3 more, and do like that. If you can just join me for a little bit of my live, then that's brilliant. What I do is I upload them to my YouTube channel, and so they're probably the next day. You can go to my YouTube channel, and you can find that through my profile. So if you click on my picture at some point, or then you can go into the link on my live, and there's my YouTube, my social media, my website, loads of free resources and stuff like that. So you're very welcome to have a little browse around and watch the live in your own time on YouTube if you fancy it. Right, so let me see if there's any other questions. So it is a little bit, it gets a bit full on. There's lots of questions, so I do my best. If I don't answer your questions, not because I'm choosing not to, it's because, that does sort of go through on very, very quickly, and it's hard to keep up with them. Let's have a look. Hello Tracy, nice to see you. Thank you all for joining me. It's so lovely to see you. I tend to wait around at the end as well and say hello to people. If I don't see you now, it's so lovely to have you. Hello Molly, lovely to see you. Denise, Coppin, nice to see you. Lulu, Can. Oh, right, let me get... Okay, Layla, advice for a driving test tomorrow. That's from Layla. Let me make a note of that. I treated myself to a ring light, which I haven't actually got the ring light on, but it's got a stand, so it's a bit weird. The position of the my phone's a bit... Oh, Rose Gallagher. Oh, it's so lovely to see you. Welcome. I love Rose's TikToks on makeup. It's just lovely. RH would like some tapping today. I was thinking I might do a whole live on tapping if you fancy. Let me know if you like to do that. If I can, I will. RH. And San, absolutely. So Jasmine's right. Honestly, you don't need to send gifts to me. It's really kind. I know that people do, and it's really lovely of you to do that. But honestly, don't feel that you have to at all. I'm just glad that you're here. Okay. Yeah, honestly, this is not about money. This is all free. You don't have to you don't have to send anything, But I appreciate that you even have that thought, so thank you. Okay, and Kat, let's have a look at yours. Any advice on absence from work? Absence from work due to anxiety. Okay, so let me get answering some questions. Okay, so candle wax melt. So you're saying, so your husband has left due to his depression, I'm thinking, and now he's saying that he wants to come back, and you've got a 17-year-old, and he's been telling your 17-year-old that he's going to be coming back, and should you trust him? Okay, so it's hard, isn't it, when someone walks away? I'm thinking it's because of his own depression rather than yours. Is that right? Let me know. I'm just going to scroll through so I can see. Let me know. If you can just let me know, candle wax melts. Is it because of his depression or yours? Yes, so he says he's got demons. Okay, so it's about boundaries, isn't it? You know how he was when he was ill, and probably I think that it's definitely something that you need to really have a strong conversation about, and you need to think about what are your needs and what are the needs of your 17-year-old, and before he comes back, if you decide that it's okay for him to come back, then you need to have that discussion around what are your expectations, what are your needs, what are the needs of your 17-year-old, and he needs to also let you know what his needs are. And I think it's really important that he's doing his best to help himself. It may well be that it's on a sort of a slowly, a little bit at a time, maybe come back for a weekend, maybe, to work it out between yourselves, so it doesn't have to be all full on. He's all of a sudden he's back all the time, and also it depends on how well is he, how ill was he, how did his illness manifest itself, is he receiving support, has he received support, all of that kind of thing. And it's a big decision to make. I can completely understand that. And I think trust, once it's lost, is really hard to regain. I think it's you have to look after you, and you have to look after your 17-year-old. Now, your husband hasn't chosen to feel the way he feels. It's really hard, and in some ways maybe it took a lot of courage to remove himself from the family home. Maybe he just felt that there weren't any choices for him when he did that. But it does depend on a whole load of different things. But I think before you let him move back in, it's definitely worth having those conversations with him. And maybe even before he moves back in, say to him, listen, let's go and have a little bit of relationship or couple counselling, so that we can work through these things with someone who's there as a mediator between us. I think that might be a good idea. But you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Be making the decisions based on what is right for you as a family, you as an individual, you and your 17-year-old, and don't be sort of guilted into it, because there's so many layers in this, I imagine, that it's not an easy decision to make. So I think a step-by-step approach probably would be the best way to go about this. And as I say, to perhaps see if you can get some couples counselling if you possibly can. I hope that helps a little bit. So I can see you're saying that you just want the family back together. Yeah, absolutely. And it may well be that, you still really love each other, and, he may be feeling terrible that he's sort of walked away in a moment of crisis, and for him that felt like the safest and best thing to do in that moment. So I think trust is regained over time, so perhaps give him time, and just see how it goes. Just build things up slowly and gradually, and maybe set some goals for yourselves, set some goals for him. Maybe think of, doing some stuff that is together, but not necessarily in the family home, that kind of thing. So it's a slow, steady process, and you have to do it in a way that feels right for all of you. So I hope that helps a little bit. Good luck. It's a very difficult situation. I do feel for you. So moving on to the next question, and I do see there's lots of comments. I do apologise if I don't get to everyone's comments. I'm blind as a bat without my glasses on, so I keep putting them on, and then I realise that there's a reflection in my glasses. Anyway, so Layla, oh, thank you, that's very kind of you, that Rose. Layla, so you've got your driving test tomorrow, if I remember rightly. Oh my goodness, so that's exciting, isn't it? So advice around anxiety with that. So I would say it's completely normal to feel a bit nervous heading for your driving test. Anyone who's on here who's passed their driving test or taken a driving test will know that it's a big thing. It means a lot, doesn't it? So you would not have been put in for your driving test if you didn't have the ability to pass it. Okay, so I would expect a level of anxiety, whether that's for you, you know, your heart racing a little bit, having butterflies in your tummy, maybe a little bit shaky, maybe a little bit sicky feeling. I don't know, everyone's different the way they do their anxiety. So how do you calm your nerves? If you have a look on my page, down the bottom there's some specific videos around tapping. They might be really good for you to do tonight, to do it alongside me. I also did a tapping thing yesterday, over the weekend, on my YouTube, a purely tapping thing, which you could do. So if you went through that, it was kind of about strength and about feeling wobbly. So it may well be that might help you. But if you listen to it through the first time, and then perhaps you could mute it and just do it with me, do the tapping points and use your own language to describe how you're feeling. I think the thing with tapping is it helps you work through to process how you're feeling, the anxieties, and helps you come through to a place where you're perhaps feeling a bit more confident, a little bit more positive. So tapping can be really helpful. I think just because you feel nervous about something doesn't mean that you're going to fail at all. There's no correlation between how nervous you are and the chances of you failing. If you're a good driver and you can drive, then just take it slow and steady. Maybe before your test, just practice some techniques to help you be in the moment. The one that is pinned on my profile page that does this finger rubbing thing is really helpful, because it helps you be in the moment. Lots of the time when we're very anxious, we're imagining how awful everything is going to be. We're imagining failing, we're imagining all of that. And at the end of the day, if you do fail, well, you just take the test again. So that will be all right. It's just all about learning. I was working with someone not long ago, and they'd failed their test twice, and they were heading for their third go at it, and we worked on various things, and they passed their test third time lucky. And every time you try something and you fail, in that moment you still learn stuff that can be useful for you. So you'll either pass, which will be amazing, or you won't, and that will give you information to help you next time. So I cross my fingers for you. I hope that all is well. But I think in the lead up to your test, just be as calm as you can be. Just look after yourself, be kind to yourself. And if, like I say, if you feel those feelings, like the sort of tummy ache and that release of adrenaline, it's okay. Just accept it, acknowledge it, and almost thank your nervous system, because it's giving you that energy. That energy can help you in ways that might surprise you, really, to be more alert, more on it when you get in the car. So good luck. I hope it works well. Let me know. Send me a message. Let me know how you do. So the next question I've got here is Kat, and you say that you're absent from work at the moment with anxiety, and that's hard for you. And I'm not sure. I think it was. I don't know if your thoughts were about being able to go back to work, or let me see. Could you, if I scroll through to the end, let's see. Kat, if you can let me know what really was your question, because you were saying that you're anxious, you're off work with anxiety, and let me know a little bit more about that if you can whilst you're doing that. Oh, Lynn, you're here. So Lynn250 is one of my moderators, and she said, I'm going to be a bit late because I'm having my nails done. So I hope your nails looking lovely. So I feel guilty and need to go back. Okay, thank you, Kat, for letting me know that. So do you know what? I think with mental health stuff, with our emotions, society does make us feel guilty, doesn't it? It makes us think, oh well, no, I need to be back, this isn't like a proper thing maybe that I'm feeling, and maybe people think that I'm skiving or something like that, and absolutely not. You know, it's really important that you take your time, because you're not skiving, you are taking time for you to be in the right space emotionally, to be able to go back to your job and do your job well and to feel safe at your job. So it takes as long as it takes, Kat, honestly. I think it's important to keep that communication open, either with your HR department if you have one, or with your line manager, with the people that you work with, to let them know, you know, I really want to come back to work, and I'm feeling really guilty that I'm not in work at the moment. And I think you're probably, I mean, hopefully, if it's a good company that you're working for, they'll say to you, Kat, take your time, take as long as you need, and come back when you're ready. Because what you want to do is to be able to go back and feel good and safe and to be able to do your job well. You don't want to go back and then be triggered into feeling, you know, sliding back and feeling terrible and then having more time off work. So it's better to just wait until you're ready. And I totally understand that perhaps you have that sense of guilt, but, you know, please don't feel guilty. Being off work with anxiety is absolutely as valid as being off work with, you know, a physical illness. If you were off work with something physical, if you'd broken your leg, if you had a long-term physical illness, you wouldn't even think about not being able to go into work. It's just the way society has been for so long that we have that sense of, for some reason, our mental health isn't as valid, and that's absolutely not true. So as I say, communication with work, letting them know that you want to do your best, you want to come back as soon as you can, but you're not quite ready yet. And maybe, depending on what you do, obviously, looking at a staged return to work. You know, maybe you could do whatever works for you, like dipping your toe into work and coming back in a way that feels comfortable for you, and asking for support, asking for, you know, perhaps having a sort of return to work interview with somebody so that they can support you and ask you, what are your needs, what can we do to support you so that coming back to work feels as comfortable as it possibly can. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit, but please don't feel guilty, because it just takes as long as it takes to heal. I hope that you have support from work, but also perhaps you're working with someone who can help you work through the anxiety and come to a place where you feel much safer and steadier in yourself. So I hope that helps a little bit. Let me have a little look. Let me look at some more questions. Welcome to you all. If you are here, my name's Sarah, and I'm a therapist. I do these lives to try and answer as many questions as I can, to help as many people as I can. There's no charge, it's all free. You don't have to send me anything. It's just really lovely to be able to help as best I can. Oh, good, Kat. I'm really pleased. Okay, so Sam Frost, your question is, any advice on trusting men after being assaulted? Oh, hang on, I'm just trying to write this down. I'm just trying to work through these a bit more quickly. I'm sorry to hear that you've had that experience, Sam. So I'm going to answer your question in just a moment. I'm just going to look through and see if there are any other ones. Let's see. Samaya, how do I not be embarrassed by my mental health? Let's have it. How not to? I'm such a slow writer. Gosh, I think that a lot of there's still, you know, people talk a lot about mental health, and there's this whole thing about, oh, you know, let's get rid of the stigma. But I think there still is a stigma, because it's, people talk a lot about it. Companies talk a good game, and then when it comes to actually doing anything about mental health and supporting people, they can be somewhat unhelpful, I would say. But I will get to your question in just a moment. Let's have a look. Oh, Nats, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so let me write that down. Oh my goodness, you lost your mum and your granddad last year. I'm so sorry. Gosh, that's hard, isn't it? To lose one of those really important people is so hard. But to lose both of those, that's a big loss. Okay, so right, and let's see if there's anything. Okay, and I can see Brian, Paige, Patrick. You're talking here about so Brian, you're talking about health anxiety. And Jane, hello Jane Brogan from the States. It's amazing, isn't it? We talk English, you know, Americans talk English people talk English, and we have used completely different language. Sometimes it's like a foreign language. And I was talking about skiving, and you're saying, what is skiving? So skiving is when you're not doing something that you should do. So if you should be going into work but you're taking a sick day and there's not really anything wrong with you, that is skiving. So I hope that explains a little bit. So yes, and dossing is the same thing. I saw that someone was trying to explain to you. Okay, let me answer some more of these questions. Okay, so Sam Frost, how to begin to trust men again after being assaulted, and particularly friends. I'm so sorry that you've been through that experience. I think it's really important. If I'm completely honest with you, I think it's really important actually to get help and work through this with a therapist. I'm not sure that it's something that I can just on a TikTok sort of talk you through and help really deeply with, because I think that your experience will have been a traumatic one, and it's not easy to just get over that and to just begin to trust. The thing about trauma, no matter what trauma we experience, a big thing about trauma is that there is that loss of trust. So you're living your life and everything's fine, and you know you're just getting on with everything, and then something happens or a series of events happen, and that trust is gone. It is like stolen from you, and it can be trust in yourself, who you are as a person, the way you thought you would have reacted to an event. It can be trust of other people. You know, you thought that the world was a lovely place, and then all of a sudden someone has made you feel, no, it's a scary place and I don't know who to trust. Or you can be you can lose your trust in an environment or a particular group of people. There's so many things that can you can lose trust in. You can lose trust in your own body and the way that you thought your body would respond to certain things. So it is hard, and I do feel for you, and I think it's definitely something that you can begin to heal from, and I don't know whether I know that one of my moderators, I'm not gonna I don't know whether to say your name, I'm going to leave this up to you, whether you would like to share perhaps any charities. If any of my moderators have got any charities that they know that would be of particular help in this sort of area for Sam, that would be really helpful, because I know that some of you are knowledgeable, and more knowledgeable than me in this area. So that would be really helpful. I think that giving yourself time and space to heal is really important. To be much more in the now, and I think if you have really close friends that perhaps they know that you've been through this experience, and perhaps you are able to communicate with them, to talk with them and have that conversation around, these are my needs. I feel uncertain now. I feel uncertain and I feel it's very hard to trust, and so therefore I need you to do this. I'd be grateful if you could behave in this way. So you will know what would help you, Sam. So I think it's about communication, but it's also about getting that sort of deeper structure support for yourself, which you can get from charities, from support networks. But I think a one-to-one therapist perhaps would be really helpful to help you with this. Someone who is trained in working with trauma, perhaps trained in somatic work, which is there's a great book called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, and he talks about how our bodies, when we've been through trauma, often store that sense of this thing happened to me, and it's that reliving of the trauma. And so, you know, a friend could maybe touch you on the shoulder in a way that they feel is being comforting, and for you that can trigger you into no, this is something very, very difficult for me. And if they know that, if you can find a way to be able to communicate with that with them, then perhaps that can be helpful, and together you can begin they can begin to support you in your healing. I'm not sure that's massively helpful for you, Sam. I really hope it is. Do keep an eye out in the comments for perhaps suggestions of charities that would be helpful for you to look at that are supportive in this area. So thank you for asking the question, because you're absolutely not alone with this. Unfortunately, it's a very challenging thing to have gone through, but absolutely there is light at the end of the tunnel. So I appreciate you asking that question. So Samaya, you've asked the question, how do I not be embarrassed by my mental health? And I think that's a really great question, because, you know, we've been talking a little bit today about the stigma, the guilt around having mental health stuff going on, whatever that might be for you, whether it's a fear, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, whether it's feeling a bit stuck, or whatever it might be. There is this sense that I think society expects us to be these wonder people, you know, whether you're Wonder Woman, Wonder Man, whatever you are, and it's not fair, because we are all strong. We all work our way through our lives in the best way that we possibly can, and we're all doing our best. I know my friend and my mentor Trevor Sylvester, who founded Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapy, he talks about us all being fellow strugglers, you know, and I think it's important to know that. It's not like, you know, I don't sit up here and go, oh yeah, I've got all the answers. I haven't, you know. I'm personally feeling tired today. My brain isn't working that well. I've had sort of stuff this morning where I felt a bit, you know, and it's completely normal as human beings that we are like this. You know, we have good days, we have difficult days, we have challenging days, we have really challenging days some days, and some days are wonderful. And it's okay and it's normal, and there is absolutely nothing to be embarrassed about. I think perhaps if we were all a little kinder to one another, then that would make a world of difference to the world, wouldn't it? So I think it's that sense of beginning to help yourself by being compassionate to yourself, by speaking kindly to yourself. And if you get that little voice in your head, or that feeling of, oh, I'm embarrassed, I'm not good enough, I'm whatever it is that you feel, to just stop a moment and just say, just hang on a moment. Thank you for trying to protect me, because that's what's happening there, is that your trauma self is stepping forward and going, oh, we need to step away from this situation. We're not good enough. Let's just hide. Let's be safe. And actually to be able to say, thank you so much for trying to protect me, but it's okay. I am enough as I am. I'm not the person I will be. I'm forever growing and learning, but that's okay. I don't have to be perfect, you know. And just perhaps taking a moment, putting your hand on your heart, and just being kind, just saying, just take a moment, breathe. I'm not alone in this. I'm not the only one that feels this way. And yeah, I hope that helps a little bit, Samaya. And I hope that really, I can see lots of hearts coming up here, and I really appreciate that. And perhaps that's a reflection, Samaya, of the fact that you are not alone in this, that a lot of other people can recognise how you're feeling. But who says that any of us should be embarrassed about anything that we do? That sense of shame is brought on perhaps by society and the norms that we've been expected to adhere to by society, and we don't have to. It's okay to be us, whoever we are. We all have so much to give to the world, so you have too. Be kind to yourself. So I hope that helps a little bit. You take care of yourself. The next question was from Nat, and I'm so sorry that you lost your mum, you lost your granddad last year, and you're asking about, you know, grief. How do we deal with grief? I think grief is a horrible club that all of a sudden, you know, for a while you don't experience grief particularly, you don't lose the people that you love, and then all of a sudden one day it's there, and it's brutal, it's just shocking. You realise how permanent loss is, and it's not until you experience that you realise, oh dear, this is one of the hardest times in life to get through. And we all experience grief in different ways. We all do our grief in different ways. And whatever way you are doing your grief, that is okay. I always talk about a friend of mine, someone that I've followed on Instagram for a really long time now, called Joanna Shimwell. And she's brilliant. And she lost her father very suddenly earlier on this year. Gosh, it might even have been like the end of last year. I'm so sorry, Joanna, if you're watching this. But it was brutal, and she has sort of shown her journey on her Instagram account, and it's been gutting to watch, but wonderful to watch, and so encouraging to watch, because there've been days when, you know, she's been totally broken, and then other days where there's been a tiny pinpoint of light, and those days over time have begun to be more frequent. But you know, she's definitely worth going to follow her account, Joanna Shimwell. So for you, I would say give yourself time. There is no time limit on grief, particularly when you've lost two such very, very important people in your life in such a short amount of time. I think accept support. People will say, oh, you know, is there anything I can do to help? And we tend to go, oh no, it's fine, I'm fine. And the chances are that you're not fine. So if there are people that you trust and people who say to you, can I help? Take that support, you know, whether it's if you've got, walking your dog, doing your washing for you, cooking you food, having you around, just sitting with you, listening to you, because it's really important. It's very easy to lock yourself away, and I think that initially when you lose someone, just the simple things like making sure that you eat is really important, trying to sleep, trying to have a shower, trying to remember to clean your teeth. There's things that go out of the window when it's just so hard to keep going. But as I say, the grief for the people that you've lost will always be there to a certain extent because you love them. And it's not something we get over. It's just that sense of it changes somehow over time, you know. I mean, I think anyone here who's lost someone that they love will know that whether it's a day ago, a year ago, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years ago that you lost somebody, there will always be times when you're just there with them, you just remember them, and it all comes flooding back. And whether that manifests itself in tears or a quiet moment, or even as a smile because you just remember them and you love them, it's always there. It just begins to change and transform. So yeah, there's lots of if you look at in my profile page, there's a link to an organisation called QCHPA, and if you look there in My Quest Hub, there's a fantastic resource written by a friend of mine, Jane Cowan, all about grief and bereavement. And in that, she is a bereavement counsellor, and in that there's lots of resources, links to various articles, all sorts of help, that and books to read, all sorts of stuff that I think perhaps would be really helpful for anyone who is going through grief. Go to that link, QCHPA, My Quest Hub, and you can look through the resources there for grief and bereavement. There'll be a little magnifying glass that you can look it up, or if you just Google it. So I hope that helps a little bit. Let me have a little look at some of these comments, because I realise I've been talking for a bit now without really looking. Oh my goodness, over like 99 messages. Yeah, as Jane says, that grief is an ongoing process. So, gosh, Nadine, it's lovely to see you here. Let's have a look. Oh, Holly, lovely to see you. Really nice to see you. Hello, Sarah. Oh, I'm so sorry that, goodness me, your friend passed away yesterday. I'm so sorry to hear that. Gosh. Goodness me. I'm so sorry. Let's have a look. Well, thank you, KB Clean. I'm glad that you I'm feeling a little bit hot in my purple now. I was a bit chilly, but now I'm a little bit hot. Oh, Layla Noor, I can't stop crying. I'm sorry. I wonder, I'm scrolling back to see if there's anything. Let's have a little look. Oh, Julesy, thank you for sharing the live. It's so kind of you. I sort of perhaps don't mention it as often as I should, but I see the likes, and I'm so grateful for the gifts that you send, and for sharing the live, and for, if people are following me too, it's really lovely of you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, thank you, Denise Coppin. It's very kind of you. I'm so glad. I try and speak and give advice, or send you towards resources that can be helpful, and I do my best. I'm not I'm not a genius. I don't know everything about everything, and sometimes I make mistakes, you know, such is life, but I'll always do my best for you. And so I'm just so grateful people are here. Let's have a look. Julie Holland, lovely to see you. Really nice to see you. Isabella Foster, thank you for sharing the live. That's so cool, thank you. Amy, so you've lost your partner, your husband. Husband or wife, I don't know. I'm so sorry. Goodness, grief is. I always think, you know, when I lost my dad, it was just awful. I mean, obviously, but it's like all of a sudden I felt like I'd gone through a doorway, and I had no idea, and it was like I'd joined this awful club, and all of a sudden, only the people who lost their people understood somehow. It was like you suddenly recognised each other. It was like, yes, it's absolutely, excuse my language, shit. It's just so hard. I really feel for you. Oh gosh, yeah, Layla Noor, we're sending you our love. Gosh. Okay, let me just answer Brian's. So Brian was talking about health anxiety, and health anxiety is a real so and so. It's because, you know, when you're suffering from anxiety, anxiety, as I always say, is completely natural and normal, and we experience anxiety for a reason. There's always a reason. There will be something that's triggering you, whether it's something real like the driving test. You know, you've got a driving test tomorrow, and you know, that's a real thing that's making you feel anxious and nervous, or you're being triggered because of a traumatic event that's happened in the past. And sometimes the traumatic events, we don't even realise that they're traumatic events. You know, they can be significant emotional events that were significant maybe when we were 3 or 4 and we've forgotten them, but our unconscious mind is still remembering them, and so we can be triggered every day, and because of that being triggered every day, we experience the physical manifestation, which is our nervous system releasing adrenaline and cortisol. It changes our heart rate, changes our blood pressure, changes our breathing, changes our physicality, our physiology in so many ways. And that's bad enough. And then with health anxiety, your brain goes, ka-ching! Well, this clearly means that there's something really seriously wrong with me. And it doesn't matter how many times you go to your doctor and get it checked out, there's still that niggling voice saying, yeah, but what if they're wrong? What if it's this? What if it's that? And I always think health anxiety is such a horrible thing to have to suffer from. And I think, you know, a lot of anxiety you can work through. You can help yourself a great deal. With health anxiety, you absolutely can too. But I think that it is really helpful to work with a therapist with health anxiety, because it's really important to go back to the first thing that's triggered it, because it can be, you know, someone else having been really ill, you being ill, imagining, you know, looking into the future. I know that there's someone in particular I'm thinking of who follows me on here who's got a family member who is not very well at all, and so that the future is not great for that family member, and so that's an incredibly difficult thing to live with. And in some people, you know, that could easily manifest as, oh, you know, have I got that thing? Am I feeling that thing? So it's a very uncertain, wobbly place, and a therapist can help you to deal with that. but you can also help yourself. You can look at the techniques that I talk about that can create an environment of safety, an environment where your nervous system, instead of being up here filled with adrenaline and cortisol, is much more down here, so that if you do get a trigger, you're like this, rather than complete overwhelm. So self-care can help you with that. Doing something every day that you love, you look forward to, you look back on with pleasure, and in those moments you're getting the release of the hormones that tell your nervous system it's okay, you're safe. And I always think of it as, if you're in that dark place where your anxiety is very, very strong and very, very prominent in your life, it's like an oasis here and an oasis here, or a pinprick of light here, a pinprick of light. And the more you do it, the more those pinpricks get brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, until they join, until life begins to feel so much lighter, so much easier. And the physical symptoms of anxiety diminish. And if the physical symptoms are diminishing, then your brain hasn't got that hook to connect to be thinking, I'm feeling this pain in my heart, therefore I've got this thing. I hope that makes sense. So it is about diminishing the anxiety, reducing the physical symptoms by reducing the level of adrenaline and cortisol, by doing the self-care, by doing the techniques that I share on my page. So and it's not about just focusing on it when it happens. It's about going to yourself, the anxiety is here, I'm dealing with it. I'm going to just put that here, I'm going to park it, and I'm going to give my focus to the good. I think that's the mistake. Well, not a mistake, because it's completely natural and understandable, but a lot of people will give all of their focus to anxiety, and that is understandable, and yet the more you focus on it, the more it ramps up. It's like if I say to you, don't think of a blue snowman, what do you think of? First thing that comes in your head is a blue snowman. So it's not like we're not trying to think of it, we're just going, yeah, I acknowledge that is here in my life and it's really hard, and at the same time I'm doing this, so I'm going to give my focus to self-care, to doing these techniques each day, creating that new sense of being. I hope that makes sense. So I hope that helps a little bit, Brian. Let me have a little look. So let's have a look. Oh, okay, thank you for pinning a comment. Let's see, from Nadine. Okay, let me have a look, Nadine. So it's so lovely to see you again, Nadine, because it's been, you might not think this, but actually all of us, as a team, the moderators and me, we see you and we hear you, and it's lovely to see you here. We really appreciate you coming along here, and we do know how difficult things are for you, and I think the fact that you're here is a really good sign. And I think that as Lynn 250 says, it's really important that you're supported by the people around you. As it's great that you're here, and we'll absolutely do our best to support you whilst you're here, but we're not a patch on the people around you. And I know it can be really difficult sometimes to find the right people to talk to, but that doesn't mean that they're not there, because they will be there. I see that you're saying there that something really difficult happened to you a little while ago, and that you're struggling with that. So I'm really sorry to hear that. And I wonder, if you have reached out for help, whether that's to your doctor, or whether that's so you're saying you don't really have any family or friends. Okay, so forgive me here, I'm just scrolling through, and you know, all of my moderators are right. You know, Jasmine, Vicky Hodson, Lynn, they're all saying to you that you absolutely, you might not feel loved, but you are appreciated, and it's so lovely to have you here. Yeah, and you know, Nadine, do send me an email. So my email is, if you go through my profile page to my website, there's my email is on there. It's sarah@saraharis.com. So you know, do send me an email, and I'll do my best for you to perhaps give you some help and advice on places perhaps you could reach out to. And there's also, you know, if you wanted to have that one-to-one chat, there are, for example, Samaritans is 116123. That's a free number. There are always people there, and they're really kind, and they're trained to listen and to perhaps just be there when things are really difficult. There are also, if you Google free therapy, for example, there are lots of organisations that give free therapy, so you don't have to pay anything. If you look at Mind UK, if you have a look at on their tabs across the top, they have lots of information and resources. There's all sorts of places that you can approach for help, and they also have a helpline. Ollie a while ago said that there was a website as well, which is I think it was Health Matters, and Health Matters have a great helpline that you can call them, you can talk to them. And I know that might sound really difficult and something that you think, oh, I don't want to do that, but actually they will know that this is not an easy thing for you to do, to reach out, and they will be expecting you to feel a bit nervous, and they are trained to help you feel comfortable and to help you in the best way that they can to get the help that you need. So even if you don't have family and friends around you, you can be supported. So I hope that helps a little bit. But you know, please keep going, because right now it can feel like the right solution just to think that you don't want to be here anymore, perhaps. But if you can just keep yourself safe for now, just to be with someone for now, you don't even have to tell them how you're feeling. It's about being with that other person. Just that sense of being with someone else will keep you safe for now. And if you're really thinking that you're going to be in danger, then you know, if for example you're having suicidal thoughts, then you can call 999. You can go to your local A&E department. You can call your doctor. You can go to your doctors. But please look after yourself, because we all as a team would be absolutely devastated if anything happened to you. You know, I feel like we have a community here, and you are part of that community. You matter to us. So please take care of yourself. Let us know. Keep coming back to these lives as often as you want, because it is always lovely to see you. And over time, we will see that things start to get better for you. I absolutely know that. Sometimes it just takes time. I know that's a challenge, but you can do this because you have that strength inside you, even if it perhaps doesn't feel like it right now. But I think the fact that you're here and you're talking is a good sign. Oh gosh. Let's have a little look. Oh gosh. Nadine, thank you for pinning that, Vicky. Nadine, honestly, you look at all of the comments and people who care, it's, you know, every single human being has worth, has value, and, you know, we're all of our nervous systems, all of our hearts are reaching out to you saying, please, please look after yourself. Even if it's hard to reach out, then, you know, make that phone call, reach out to that charity, look after yourself, because you matter, you absolutely do. So, let's have a look. Gosh, Sammy McVitie's, I'm sorry that you're struggling as well. Do you know, I think life is incredibly hard right now, isn't it? And I think it's very natural that a lot of people are struggling right now. And, you know, each single individual unique person, your struggle is absolutely as valid as the community's struggle. And it's really easy to think, oh, well, you know, other people have got it worse than me. I don't think that's true. I think that everyone at the moment who's struggling for whatever reason, your struggle is absolutely as valid as the next person's. You know, I find that when I have people that come to me that work with me, and they say, oh, you know, oh, well, my trauma or my thing is, I know that I'm not as bad as other people have, you know, I've not experienced what other people have gone through. And I always say, well, you know, it's all relative, isn't it? It's all individual. For you as an individual, it matters. You know, no one else really matters. It's about what you're going through. And I think that's one of the reasons that we've set up this community, is to help people in a way that hopefully can give hope, because there absolutely is hope there. Sometimes when you're very close to something very difficult happening, or you've been there for a long time struggling, it can feel that there isn't hope. But I believe that there is always hope. There's always this moment, and small things can help. So you do look after yourselves, speak kindly to yourselves as best you can, and reach out, talk to people, let people know how you're feeling. Oh gosh. So yeah, so Vic W's says, Samaritans are brilliant when it's intense. You're absolutely right. Samaritans are great, and there are other great helplines too. So keep going. Right, so we've kind of come to the end of this. It's 6 o'clock, and yeah, I forgive me today. I feel a little bit like my mind is just kind of today. I don't feel like I'm as sharp as I'd like to be. So if I've not been as helpful as I would really want to be, then my apologies. Just one of those days for me, I'm afraid. I heard my husband has come home. He's been out playing golf, so I'm hoping he's going to make me a cup of tea and cook me dinner, which would be really nice. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, I really appreciate you all being here, and I love the community here. I love, you know, when I put my glasses on and I can see the comments. I love the fact that everyone is so supportive of one another. You know, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in the US, wherever you are, it is just amazing to see, and I love that. So, you know, if you're gonna have a little follow fest of following people, if you followed me today, if you followed any of my moderators today, then thank you so much. If you've liked anything, if you sent me, you know, the gifts, the roses and stuff, I'm so grateful. You absolutely don't feel like you have to, but it's always just like, I feel it's such a treat when I see things popping up on my screen. So I'm really grateful. Oh gosh, I've just seen there's a little blackbird that has just popped up on my fence, and it's got 2 bright red berries in its beak. It's so lovely. Anyways, I digress. I couldn't do this without my moderators. Lynn250, Vicky Hodson, Jasmine, Vicky Handlebars, Zanshin. You give up your time and time again for these lives. You spend a whole hour completely voluntarily helping people, pinning posts, being supportive, signposting people, and I just am so grateful for your help. You are amazing people. If you've just joined us, or if you've just popped in and out, and you've been taking a sneaky look from work, then if you want to see the whole live, I always post all of my lives in my YouTube channel, which you can find if you go into my profile. By clicking on my picture, you will see that there's a little link in my profile. Go in there, there's loads of free resources, but right at the top is my YouTube, and you can go in there. And I posted quite a bit over the weekend. There's various things, but my lives are always in there. Maybe not straight away, but definitely the next day. So do go and have a look. I'm not going to be doing a live this Friday or Monday, because it is my 30th wedding anniversary, and my hubby and I are having a little special weekend, so forgive me, but I will be back. I think I'm back the following Friday. Let me look at my little diary and see. So yeah, so a week on Friday, so I won't be here Friday coming, I won't be here the Monday, but I will be here the following Monday. So do join me then. That will be at 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. But I think my husband would kill me if I tried to do a live on our 30th wedding anniversary. So I'm sorry for that, but I will be there, and I'll see if I can put stuff on my YouTube channel, so that if there's anything that you fancy looking at. So I'm going to go now, but thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate you being here and being part. So I'm just gonna have a little look, and I'm gonna hang around just for a bit, just to sort of say some hellos and some goodbyes. I'm not going to answer any more questions now, so forgive me for that. But hopefully I'll see you in let me see what the date is for that. So the 2nd of September is the next live. Okay, so God, I'm looking a little bit frazzled today. That's not a good look, is it? Yeah. I'll see you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the 2nd of September, 10 o'clock in the morning. Have a good week. Oh. Thank you, Emily. I do deserve the time away. 30 years, eh? Honestly. Oh, thank you, Trish. That's lovely. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Vicky Hudson. Oh, Jasmine, you had a bad day. Gosh, well, I hope you're all right. Nice. Thank you for being here. Oh, San, really lovely to see you, San. Yeah, I have. Don't you worry. I have a good support network, and I make sure that I set real strong boundaries, so that, yeah, that's why I'm not doing it on my 30th wedding anniversary. Is, you know, I'm going to take time away. So I'm really great, but I'm really grateful that you say that, San. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Kezia. I'm going to have a lovely time. Yeah, Jane Brogan, no lives on vacation. You're right. Oh, Andrea, oh, you missed me today. No, listen, it'll be on my YouTube, so hopefully you can maybe catch up with that, but don't worry. Oh, Julesy, it's your birthday tomorrow. Ah, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hope you have a lovely day. I want you to be at your 1,000 followers so I can come and watch you cooking live. Oh, thank you, Trish. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. Oh, Sarah, you take care of yourself. I hope you're all right. Thank you, Lynn. Oh gosh, I'm such a sucker for staying around afterwards and reading all these nice things. It's thank you, Andrea. Oh, thank you, Emma. I'm really glad that you found the account, so that's good. Oh, you too, Ben Mac. What you've got your, is it your birthday or is it your anniversary? Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Julia Lewis. Ah, San, you're a star. Yes, the lives are on YouTube. Have a look at my link tree on my profile. Thank you, Denise. Cockpit, thank you. Oh, Kazi, that's so sweet. You're going to miss me. You never know, I might get a moment when my husband's not watching and pop up. Oh, bless you. Thank you, user 848018. Oh, Katie. I never comment, but I tend to watch. Finally commented. See you next time. Well done, you. Thank you. Oh, bless you. Oh, thank you. Oh, so nice. Oh, thank you, Nadine. You take care of yourself, lovely. Thank you for wishing me happy anniversary. Oh, Andrea, you a Homely Palace mum. Woo! Yay. It's so nice to see you and your real guys. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, birthday. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Ben Mac. Yay. Team Sarah Harris. Yeah, thank you, team. All right, I must go. But I'll see you on the 2nd of September. Check out the YouTube channel. Thank you for everything. And you're just absolute stars, all of you. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you soon. Bye.